It is about 8 p.m. for me on this side of the world in like the East Coast. So good evening and almost done with drinking my protein smoothie because today I went to the gym. Um Today we're going to talk about social anxiety as requested from the previous live stream last week. We had a great conversation then. Every week I will go live on a Thursday evening. I'll talk about things that we might struggle with mentally, anxiousness, sadness, feelings of discontentment with our lives, relationship things, health, in an attempt to make these conversations more normal. So today's conversation is around social anxiety. If you're on the live, if you come on and you're enjoying it, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're on the replay, comment some thoughts and suggestions down below on this topic that you have. Do you have personal experience with this topic? Do you often feel anxious around others? Yeah, so let's get started. One of my most known videos on my main channel, which is Holistic Flow, the video is titled Why You Don't Fit In and Have No Friends. So in that video, I'm discussing ways or reasons really that outcasted individuals feel like they don't fit in anywhere. And we try to find like spots that we should go as if we are a piece of a puzzle and the puzzle is life. And we're just throughout life trying to find out where our puzzle piece fits. And we're trying it out in different openings. And in the attempt to try to find out where we fit in, we realize that we don't fit in anywhere. And a lot of people may get upset about that, feeling like you're outcasted. Hey, Taryn Kapoor, 27. And hey, everyone who's coming in the live. So right now I'm talking about feeling like you don't fit in and why this contributes to feelings of anxiousness when you're around people. So that video is the most popular video on my channel, on my main channel, Holistic Flow, titled Why You Don't Fit In and Have No Friends. I think it's the most popular video because more than people like have to more than enough people can relate to the feeling. And I'm starting to think if so many people can relate to this feeling of not fitting in, do is it that no one fits in that feels like they don't fit in, or is it that there's no place to fit into and that we're all supposed to be more different? Do you have to be a certain age? No, you don't have to be a certain age to feel like this if that's what you're asking. You don't have to be a certain age. I think this applies to people of any age though. So, for take me for example. I was bullied in like middle school, elementary school for different things, physical appearances. I used to have unibrow. I was really fit as a kid. I was always like having a very structured body, even as a kid. I don't know. I think I came out the womb lifting weights or something like that, doing barbell curls or something. And I got called names when I was a kid. I felt outcasted. I also spoke differently, acted differently. Maybe I bounced around to different friend groups as well. Can you relate? Let me know if you relate. And when you grow up like that and you're told that you're different, you kind of get ingrained that you're not supposed to be different or you're supposed to fit into a certain mold. Then when you don't, you feel like, okay, I'm the problem. When you get older, that's something that can contribute to this thing we call social anxiety, right? That's anxiety I feel, and if you are not able to heal from it, if you are not able to heal from it, then what do you feel like is a repercussion of not being able to heal from it? Um, Thanks for your comments all so far. No, like to be in the stream. No, you don't have to be a certain age to be in the stream. It's open for everybody. Kenzie says, I do relate to that. Yeah, so we're not alone in this. You used to get bullied because of that. Yeah, kids are really mean and like they say anything. But also it's less about like it's I didn't understand this at the time, but it was less about me and more about that other person actually being jealous of me. There was one time I got bullied about my eyebrows because I used to have a unibrow and I used to have like some of the thickest eyebrows ever. Well, I still do. But I guess back when I was growing up, it wasn't cute. It wasn't a beauty standard. And maybe amongst the kids. But I couldn't tell that they was jealous that, because I had thick eyebrows. So one time I cut my eyebrows off. I just took some scissors and then I like cut them. So it was like, shapes. It was like little triangles and stuff like that cut into my eye. I look like Soldier Boy. Like Soldier Boy had the little thingies in his eyebrows, But I had that all throughout my eyebrows sometimes. It only lasted like 2 weeks because then after that it grew back. But throughout maybe middle school and high school, I used to be a really shy kid. Can anybody relate? No, like to be in the stream. Um, no, you don't have to be a certain age. Like if you if you want to be in the live stream, I mean, I go live by myself, so I don't really let anybody else in my live stream unless we like talk about it beforehand. But streams on YouTube aren't age restricted, I don't think. If you ask maybe my family, friends, close friends, I used to be very quiet when I was younger. I would have never imagined that I would be in front of a large audience of people like I am on YouTube and putting myself in positions to be around people at this time in my life, like going out of my way to talk to new people, to meet new people, to be in crowds. And sometimes I do still get a little anxious in large crowds because and tell me why, if you relate to this, what is the reason why you feel like you get anxious in large crowds? Kinsley says, I can relate to all of this. Yep, you're not alone, Kinsley. So I'll give my reasons for why sometimes I experience social anxiousness is, and I notice it because a place that I frequent is the gym. I enjoy going to the gym because I have a difficult time being motivated to work out at home, and I just love going to the gym. I like the equipment. I'm actually probably one of the only people on planet Earth, that enjoys working out and that finds it fun. But I think maybe I also find it fun because I find hard things fun. Anyways, Kinsley says I have ADHD, so that might be a reason that you experience social anxiety. Relatable too. I don't have ADHD, but knowing the like how the brain works on when you're having ADHD, um, I understand. So, like for example, me when I'm in the gym and I see well, I'm walking forward, trying not to make eye contact with people, have my over the ear headphones in, and I feel eyes on me, staring at me. I feel not insecure, but just watched. And sometimes the feeling of being perceived can be anxiety inducing. Maybe the feeling that people are watching you, eyes are on you. And sometimes maybe I'm perceiving how it is, but it really isn't like that in reality. Because maybe some people are looking or staring, but they're thinking, I, they're thinking, oh, I like her shirt. I like her eyebrows, or I like her jewelry that she's wearing, I like her sneakers or something. And I'm thinking, why do people have to be around? Why do so many people have to be around? Anything could happen. Someone could be following me. All these things, all these thoughts run through my head. Does anybody relate? All these thoughts run through my head when I'm experiencing social anxiousness. Taryn Kapoor 27 says, yeah, I never used to hate people because I was not very comfy to be around them. And people used to assume that I do some kind of drugs, but I love used to be alone or maybe around very less people. Even now I can't be around or sit with a group of people. Um yeah, if you're different, people will think things about you that just aren't true. Because until people get to understand you, they can't really personalize, they can't really personally judge you. And this is what I've learned too. I can't take things personal if the person who's judging me doesn't know me personally. And unfortunately, being different sometimes is like a threat. Being marginalized can be a threat to other people. Having a different personality or walking different or talking different or behaving different or being neurodivergent can seem like a threat to people. It shouldn't be, but it can seem like a threat to other people who haven't been exposed to people like you and people who are uneducated and discriminatory and not open-minded. It's unfortunate, but it's also like the world that we live in. So, one of the main things around social anxiety that we have to remember is that if a place doesn't feel safe, even if we're planning on even if I'm planning on going to the gym and getting a good workout, if the moment uh, walk in there doesn't feel safe, then I have to leave. If it doesn't feel safe, then I leave. But I gotta go. Have a great day. You too. Have a great day. I hate drugs. I don't like drugs either. I think I've seen a lot of what drugs can do to your brain, and they're not great. So almost at the end of my protein smoothie. Let's put it on the floor. Yeah, social anxiety. So how do we deal with it? I think what I say about anxiety is anxiety manifests itself by prolonged stress, but because our mind is in the future somewhere. I don't know if you've ever heard this said, but anxiety is your mind in the future, wandering in the future, obsessing about the future. And then depression is your mind lingering on the past and trying to tug on that past and bring it into the present with you. The way to eradicate depression and anxiety, both of them, is practice everyday present moment awareness. This applies to social anxiety too. People can have anxieties over lots of different scenarios. And I'll tell you how I practice present moment awareness too. And so far, if you're enjoying this chat, thanks so much for joining me so far, you all. And if you're enjoying it, then give it a thumbs up for sure. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, definitely subscribe to the channel because I go live every week talking about mindfulness. Can we as humans control how people see us? I'll say yes and no. First, no, we can't control how people see us because we just can't control anything outside of ourselves. You can only control what your body does, what your eyes see, what your ears hear. That's it. However, yes, we can control that because we are mirrors. Hear me out. If you're having negative thoughts, do you agree or disagree with the saying that negativity attracts more negativity? Or if you're having a very positive day and no one gave you this positivity, you're just, maybe you said your affirmations in the morning, you did your meditation in the morning, you did your journaling, and you're going throughout your day finding things to be more thankful for. Then, out of the blue, but it seems like it's out of the blue, it may seem like it's out of the blue, but you start getting that positive input that you put in, you start getting the output out of positivity. It's just like that with attracting people and situations. I would say more so people. So the reason why I feel like we can control how people see us is if we see ourselves in a certain light, if we say to ourselves with our self talk, you're not capable of saving that amount of money this year. You don't deserve to go on a vacation because you haven't worked hard enough. And I'm going to get to the comments in a little bit, but if this is your self-talk, like, you don't take a break yet, you don't deserve a break yet because you haven't hit your goals for Q2 of the year. If you're telling yourself that and then you're going into work with that mindset, people at work in your environment are going to hand you more assignments. They're going to treat you like you're the strongest person in the world because you view yourself as a person who doesn't need to take rest, who can work their hardest even at 5% battery level, doesn't need to recharge, does everything for everyone else, and does nothing for yourself. We teach people how to treat us. Therefore, I believe we also teach people how to view us based upon how we view ourselves. So that's why my answer is yes. I think we can change how people view us, and no at the same time. And yeah, let's get to these comments. Thanks so much for the comments, you all. Great comments. Now I'm 32, but if I'm around 4 to 5 people, I can't or answer to all of them, I don't feel like. No, that's real because, for example, when I'm sitting at a table, maybe we're having dinner and there's 5 people, 5 other people that I'm having a group conversation with, I would rather prefer to turn to my left and have a one-on-one conversation with this person right here, and I can literally dial into everything that they're saying. I would rather do that than listen to what this person is saying and then also listen to this person reply and then maybe try to get my reply in. And it feels like I have more energy for a one-on-one interaction than a group interaction. So there are people like that. I think you're not alone with that. And, I don't know if that might be like a component of social anxiety or just, I mean, you can determine this for yourself, but I personally think it's just a preference in a way that our brain is wired, and also maybe like have, maybe that's in the realm of introversion versus extroversion, because I feel like introverted people and maybe also quality time oriented people, if that's your love language, can really hone in on one conversation with one specific person at a time. And maybe it makes you more anxious to have a conversation in a group with multiple people at a time. It really takes practice. Like I said, for me, it took practice throughout my life. I used to be really introverted, but in social settings today, I'm pretty extroverted. One of the ways, and I'll say this, and then I'll get back to the comments too, because y'all are giving some great comments. Thanks again. One of the ways that I kind of break the ice in social settings, and this helps, is crack jokes. People love to laugh. Laughter is medicine. Okay. So it don't matter your sense of humor if you're in a room full of people. Make sure you say some tasteful stuff. Don't say no weird stuff, but get people to laugh. Be lighthearted. Don't take yourself too serious. Please don't take yourself too serious. And when people see that you don't take yourself too serious, when you're able to joke, maybe tell a joke about yourself, don't diminish yourself, but just joke around. I promise your social settings will get a lot less tense. So that's one of the ways that I became able to hang around multiple people without getting anxious, especially with new people that I've just met. I practice detachment and being in the present, but it seems sometimes my body automatically responds to the situation. Example, giving a speech. Okay, this is a good one. Especially, let's talk about this for a little while. Especially, and thanks for your comment, the automatic detachment thing. Everything that happens automatically, our body and our mind has been trained to do. So I'll give you an example. I was with a client the other day having a one-on-one conversation with her, and I was stretching her. So, you know, sh- I was right in front of her. However, where I work at the stretch clinic, or stretch studio, there is another client maybe 10 or 20 feet away with the other stretch therapist stretching them to my left. And then towards the right, there might be like another client, and we're all in the same room. It's just a spread out room, but it's close enough that you can hear kind of the background of the person's conversation to the right of you or to the left of you. This client was asking me, "Hey, how do I focus and how do I be in the present moment?" She told me, "Yeah, I want to go to more yoga classes, but every time I go to yoga, I can't ground my mind and I haven't went back." So I told her, "Hey, you know how we're having this conversation right now, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I said, "You know how you're listening to me right now because we're in conversation and your mind is automatically engaging and selectively hearing what I'm saying. However, there's all these conversations happening in the background. They're having a conversation over there and we can hear it. And they're also having a conversation over there and you can hear that too. But why are you not focused automatically on what they're saying and you're focused on what I'm saying?" It's because as humans, our mind is trained to dial in to the conversation, even if there might be distractions around. And that's what mindfulness is. That's what practicing mindfulness is. We all have the ability to do it. It's just that with controlling our thoughts, we weren't taught like from a young age that our mind automatically knows how to control our thoughts. We do it when we're in a loud cafe, but we're talking to the person right in front of us and we're choosing to focus on this one-way conversation. We do it all the time. It's just like when we apply it to, being in the present moment and mindfulness, I think because it's something that we perceive we didn't learn already, we see it differently, but it's the same. So I definitely get you. And the automatic response thing, when you say your body automatically responds to the situation, that's also understandable. I think one thing about anxiousness, when it's situational, like you're giving a speech and then right before you give a speech or when you're on the stage you get anxious, is that practicing not being anxious is just as important as like practicing meditation, so that when you go out into the world and someone honks at you really loud and then flicks you off. That just happened to me the other day, and I guess I was driving too slow for them, right? But I could have flicked them off too, and maybe in a couple years ago, I probably would have done that, right? But because I meditate every day, it's like I'm practicing. I'm getting ready so I don't have to like I'm staying ready so I don't have to get ready. And in general, that's what we have to do. Like get stay ready so we don't have to get ready by practicing mindfulness every single day and grounding your mind. So I just told you how I do it. I just told you. It's simple. You can do this by focusing on your breath. Inhale, exhale, and then doing that for 10 to 20 minutes a day. Um, it's a lot more simple than what society makes it seem like it is. These are great comments. Okay. I feel someone seeing is more like a stare. Yeah, I think that sometimes you have to also get used to when you're out in public. People might stare, people might look. And then if you really want them to stop staring, you know what you can do? You can literally make eye contact with them. Some of us are afraid of eye contact. Um, but I promise you, like, if there's someone staring at you, if you start to like look them dead in their eyes, one of two things will happen. Like, number one, they look away. Like, it'll be a couple seconds, they notice they're looking and they look away. Some people don't know that they're staring, oddly enough. And then number two, you, you stare at them, you look at them, and they keep staring at you. Those people are probably a little psycho. Just get out. Just get out right now. Like, just get out right then and there. If they continue to stare, I don't know what they got going on. Yeah, I don't think you want to find out. I do. I would not want to feel like finding out that. Have a wonderful day. You too. Have a wonderful day. I was just thinking about the last time I was here. What happened the last time you were here? I'm curious. Do you think it's more acceptable for women to be introverted versus men? That's a really tasteful question. Do I think it's more acceptable for women to be introverted? I think in this patriarchal society set up from the ground up, yeah. I think there's the expectation that women are supposed to behave a certain way and then men are supposed to behave a certain way. On my free time when I want to watch trash. I watch this show on YouTube. Y'all know Pop the Balloon or Find Love, right? Um, reason I say it's trash is because it's a great show. I'm glad that they got this far on the show. Because I think they just recently reached 100 episodes. However, the reason why I say it's trash is just that because I think the reasons that people give for wanting to date someone on the show, they're very shallow, and you can only go off of appearances and a little bit of that person's background. But sometimes it's shallow, sometimes people want to get deeper. But what I think about that show is that a lot of the men, when basically, if you don't know what the show is, even there will be a lineup of like men, and then a woman comes out and kind of pops each man's balloon until she finds the one that she wants to kind of date, narrowing them down, and they're competing against each other or whatever. And a lot of men will say if the woman comes out and she's very assertive or has a lot of opinions in a certain way, men don't like that. Most men I've observed. And I think the opposite goes for men. When there's like a lineup of women, for example, and the man is soft spoken, or maybe he seems really shy, he seems unsure of himself, the women will be like, yeah, I want a man who's more assertive, who's a little bit more dominant, who's aggressive, because those traits, and I think that correlates to what's it called, introversion and extroversion. And I do think the structure of society kind of makes it more acceptable for women to be introverted versus men. I still think men can be introverted and also assertive, or introverted and aggressive. I've definitely seen that. But I think those things, introversion and shyness, are really usually correlated with each other, or introversion and also laid backness are also associated with each other. People even think if you don't see in the person's eyes while talking to someone, it's disrespect. But I just can't see in eyes while talking. Is it normal? Um, I won't tell you like whether it's normal or or not normal. I know some people, I have known some people who, because they are not confident in themselves, that they don't make eye contact. For me, that's usually the first thing that I think when someone doesn't make eye contact with me while they're talking. The body speaks louder than your words speak. So you have to watch people's body language. You can tell so much from people's body language. So it's not just, to me, it's not just that they're not making eye contact with you. It's also that they might also be like twiddling on their fingers, or rocking back and forth like this, or looking around or something like that, and not looking at you. I think all those signs indicate a person is not confident in themselves. Whereas all the people, okay, I'll also say something else too. Cause I had dated someone for some years who had a difficult time making eye contact with people that they didn't know. Maybe we were at a restaurant and then the waitress came and he wouldn't make any eye contact with them, or talking to, it's always someone that they didn't know, or talking to somebody that they just met at the gym. But I think their reason for that was not out of not having confidence in themselves. It was also out of, unfortunately, like narcissism, and also disrespect for the other person. Um, and I know this because I knew the person. I think there's different reasons. So I'm not going to say it's normal or not normal, but usually it indicates that something might be a little off. So I guess no, it's not normal. You know how people say eyes are the windows to the soul, right? You can tell so much by looking at somebody's eyes. You can also tell the health of a person by looking in their eyes. So I think if you're having a difficult time keeping eye contact, then you can practice it. Practice having eye contact when you're in conversations, especially when you're engaging with people whom you know. So you can practice with people that you know, so that it won't be like as scary or whatever. And yeah, yeah, I do think it's important to make eye contact with people. Hello, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. I had a good day today. Um, what did I do today? I woke up. I met up with a friend who's like a filmographer and photographer. Filmed some content for this YouTube channel. Actually, like filmed some mindfulness content and more inspirational content where I sit down and talk about hardships in life. And then I went to the park. I spent some time outdoors. I put my feet in, excuse me, I put my feet in the grass, practiced yoga outside. And then I also went to the gym, and then now I'm here. So, so far it's a successful day, productive day, enjoyable day. So super thankful for this day. And yeah, so I'm going live every week. If you like this live stream, if you like this conversation, then give it a thumbs up. At this point, any questions are welcome, y'all. That's pretty much all I have to say. That's pretty much all I have to yap about. Surely subscribing. Thanks so much for the sub. I really, really do appreciate it. If you're coming from like my main page, which is called Holistic Flow, it's just Holistic Flow. I do talk about my lock journey if you're interested in that, if you want to start locks, if you have locks. And yeah, that's the page that I had before this page. And this page is dedicated to mindfulness and mental health um and lifestyle. But every week is less. Okay. Do you mean every week? Like you wouldn't be able to, hop on? If so, that's okay. I'm also in the works in the background for some other times throughout the week that we can meet on my Patreon. Patreon channel is like a community, a community channel that we can meet on. And I've been talking about having a creative co-working space on my Patreon. So it means a virtual meetup and hangout where we each bring, and I say bring, virtually bring some arts or crafts or hobby. And we do that for about an hour and just, hold each other accountable for doing something stress relieving at the end of our day. So this would be in the evening. And I talked about this, I think, last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. And I think that's really important to do because, if you work, if you have a 9 to 5 in this day and age, if you live in America at least, maybe you're having to find two jobs, a part time, a full time. We just work a lot, right? In the midst of that, how often do we rest? And and how often do we do things that we also like to do, not just things that we're obligated to do? So yeah, that's why I'm making a creative co-working space. We should be starting that next week. We should be starting it next week, so stay tuned, and I'll announce it sometime this week too. Well, I'll have the link. Actually, I should put the link. I'm gonna learn how to work this chat because I actually do not know how to send a message in the chat, but sometimes technology be making me feel old for real, which is so crazy. So crazy, right? Okay, anyways. Thank you for the response. Do you feel like social media consumption adds to social anxiety? I feel like when I have social media on my phone, I'm less grounded. Oh, 100%. 100% social media adds to social anxiety. Without a doubt. There's a lot of aspects to it. The first thing is that social media is made to make us feel less social. Social media makes us feel like we're checking in with a person by looking at their Instagram story. Like if we looked at their Instagram story, we're like, yeah, they're doing all right. Looks like they're gonna. Oh, let me swipe through their page and see. Oh, their marriage is going good. Okay, all right. They got a baby in the way, whatever. And in this day and age, it doesn't matter what age you are. Actually, maybe older millennials are better with this, but I think it's more difficult to communicate with people on like a deeper level. And the way that we communicate is more passive than it is actually face to face, which is why I was saying that making eye contact with people and talking with people in a deeper way is something that we should push ourselves to do if you do have social anxiety, like little by little, maybe practice with the people closest to you so you don't feel like it's awkward, so you don't feel actually like anxious or scared to do it, people that you trust. And I also feel like, okay, so I haven't dated in, I've casually dated since then, but I haven't seriously dated in almost like a year and a half. Which is really good for me. I actually love being single. The single life is where it's at for real. If you're single, take advantage of it. Take advantage of every second. Do all the things you want to do, but just you. Okay? Do what you want to do. Single, no kids, no marriage. Look, do what you need. Do what you need to do. I cannot stress that enough. But anyways, what was I saying? What was I saying? Okay, so when dating, I noticed that people are more prone to, maybe you're meeting somebody on social media for the first time and that's the first encounter on a dating app, let's say. And you open yourself up to a whole wide world of options that humans were not accustomed to being opened to this many options in the friendship realm, in the dating realm, that the options are in competition with each other. And this day and age, we have to kind of sell our personality, sell our looks, sell our qualities and our interests in order for people to get to like us. That's exactly what dating apps are, and making a profile. And because I'm, technically Gen Z, my generation is used to that type of interaction because it's more convenient, it's more fast, and it takes more effort sometimes to get in social situations and find friends. The nature of meeting people on social media, whether it be Instagram, whether it be TikTok, whether it be meeting somebody online, makes it so that there's less commitment to getting in person. And then also, maybe you do want to get in person with some or meet someone in person. It makes it easier for people to think it's okay to flake on you because maybe they do have other options of people. And this is going back to the whole dating online thing. Maybe they do have so many other options on people, and you can just see more people immediately by swiping. Just keep on swiping right. And it's assumed that you also have the same amount of options. When I go on Netflix to watch something, I already want to have in my mind something to watch. Why? Because if I go on Netflix and I don't have anything in mind to watch, I'm just going to keep scrolling through whatever. And I'm going to be scrolling and then 15 minutes is going to go by. And I'm like, wait, I'm getting sleepy. I haven't even picked anything to watch because decision fatigue. There's so many options that I get tired scrolling through the options. Like, it's too much for the brain. I don't think we're made to do all of this. Um Sorry, it feels good with your answer. Some things which you can't talk to anyone. Surely going through your videos and following you, you made my day. Thank you. Aw, thank you so much for saying that. I'm so glad. And yeah, thanks for the support as well. I am really inspired by the fact that this channel is growing and more people are finding the channel. The purpose of it is so that we can have more conversations like this. It's the Holistic Flow Collective for a reason. So my intention is to have conversations and build community around like-minded, things. So yes, I am going to go ahead and get ready to go, but I also want to remind you all that every Thursday, around this time, I'll be going live on this channel to talk about mindfulness, mental health topics, and just other things that I think should be more normalized to talk about. So if you ever have like any suggestions for that, definitely let me know. And yeah, hopefully I can see you all next week as well. Next Thursday, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also look out for news on this channel about me opening up my Patreon. Because I also have other things that I'm planning for the Patreon to offer yoga and meditation classes on there too. So, or yoga and meditation sessions we can practice together. So thanks so much you all for joining. If you enjoyed it, then give it a thumbs up, please. And also you can share this page with anyone who you feel like needs it too. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and log off, but I appreciate you all and have a good night too. This was such a great conversation today. All right, everyone. Peace.